Hey there, it's Steve from Serious Keto, and this is the Not So Serious Keto video podcast, Amazon Prime Day edition. Actually, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of specialness to this video in terms of it being Amazon Prime Day, outside of me telling you what I'm going to probably wind up buying and maybe some recommendations for you if you're looking to get something. So first of all, I definitely need a new Instant Pot. I've got an 8-quart Instant Pot, and I think the thermostat has gone a little bit wonky on it. When I'm doing pressure cooking, I often get an overheat error, and I tried to do yogurt. I've been doing yogurt fairly regularly. I do a half and half yogurt. I don't know what the macros are on it. I'm pretty sure Joe over at 2 Crazy Ketos did a version of yogurt, and he talks about the macros, so I should probably go look that up. I don't eat very much of it. Mainly it's for my grandson, Colton. He loves yogurt. But I found that the last batch of yogurt I tried to do, I had some problems. First off, I could not get the temperature up to boil. You don't actually boil it, but you get it up over 170, into that 170, 180 Fahrenheit range. And the maximum it would go was, I think, 130 something. And then it quit. It just went back into yogurt mode, which is where then you hold temp for hours, like 10, 12 hours, depending on how sour you like your yogurt. So I had to set it to saute just to get the temperature up. And then I went into yogurt mode and it went overnight, and it was really still very runny. It hadn't coagulated or whatever yogurt does, where it sort of starts to come together. Very runny still. Ran it through a Greek yogurt strainer, and the texture wound up being a lot more like cream cheese than yogurt after going through the strainer. And the taste was just, it was off. And I don't believe it was my half and half that I was using. I think the issue is with the Instant Pot. So definitely getting a new Instant Pot. I'm thinking if I do, I might as well get the 10-in-1 Pro, which also has the sous vide function. I mean, you never have too much sous vide going on. And then I've got a number of different channel specific sort of items. So video production type things, lenses, lighting, microphones. I'd really like to get a nice high-end gimbal, so for Steadicam type work. And then I just sort of throughout the day keep my eye on lightning deals and see if anything pops up that, seems like a nice spontaneous purchase at the right price. In all of my videos, I do include a link to my Amazon store, which is not really my store. It's just a list of things that I use or would recommend. And I've got it broken into categories like kitchen gadgets and appliances, ingredients, nice to have. I think there's like 4 different buckets. But if you use that link down in the description below, you can get out there and just see if any of that stuff winds up being on sale. Now, one thing I have noticed, and this kind of grinds my gears a little bit, is when you have people doing the fulfillment by Amazon sales route out on Amazon, they'll buy a product and then they will sell it through Amazon. And lots of times when there's something that I recommend and it spikes sales, these sellers will turn around and really ratchet up the price. And one of those things is the pogo whisk that I like to use. When I bought mine, it was, I think, $18. And I got a little bit irritated when they raised the price to $23. So that went up to $23 like last week, the week before. Now, because I used it in another video, the seller has raised the price to $40. And that's just, I think that's ridiculous. That's predatory. It makes me angry. But be aware that I would not buy that pogo whisk, no matter how much I love it. If mine broke and I got out and I saw that the price is now $40, I don't think I could bring myself to buy one. So hopefully, if there's something you're looking to get for your kitchen, or if there's some gadget that I have that you're jealous of, you'll be able to find it today on sale. Good luck. Quick Courtney update. So Courtney's just got 2 more weeks left in her Army training, and then we'll be heading down to, I think it's Gulfport, Mississippi, for her graduation. I'm actually wearing this shirt sort of in honor of her today. She was supposed to get an 8-hour pass this weekend. Just go off base, do what she wanted to do, but there's a tropical storm that looks like it's going to pull through that area. And so I'm doing this not as a joke, but just sort of as a wink to her. And hopefully everyone will be fine. If you live down in the Gulf area, just get some rain, no infrastructure damage, nothing like that. I always feel bad for those folks in those coastal regions when we get into hurricane and tropical storm season. So good luck, everybody. Stay safe. Now, if you've ever bought any product from Perfect Keto, you've probably wound up on their mailing list and thus probably got an email either yesterday or today about a sale they're having. They have merged, or actually they purchased, SuperFat. And I've had, interestingly, over the last couple of weeks, a couple of viewers ask me my thoughts on that. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to talk about this sale that they have going on, not to promote the sale, just my opinions on it. I have done 3, I believe, reviews of SuperFat products. I did their nut butter, which for the most part, I really liked. I mean, I liked them all. It went from varying degrees of like to love. What I didn't love is the pouches. I do not like nut butter in pouches. I always feel like I'm just getting gypped out of a little bit at the end, no matter how hard I squeeze. I guess they have them in jars now, so that's better. But I like their nut butters. We also reviewed their cookies. They had these little cookie bites. Those, they were fine. I think it's more of a matter of personal taste. I do not like the non-moist cookie bites. Sort of those, was it Famous Amos style? You know, just the little bites. They're not crunchy, they're not crispy. I don't know what I'd call them, but not moist. I certainly would not call them moist. And they use erythritol, and I find that I'm pretty erythritol sensitive. I really pick up on that cooling sensation. So for me personally, although the flavors were fine, in fact, a couple of them were even good, I enjoyed them, I just don't care much for the texture. And furthermore, I am not much of a cookie eater. It's just, if I'm going to have a snack, I'm not generally going to the cookie jar. I'm generally going to the fridge, I'm grabbing some olives, or I'm grabbing some cheese, something like that, a handful of almonds. I don't gravitate towards sweet snacks anymore. It's just not my thing. So when a company like SuperFat or Perfect Keto sends me a bunch of cookies, they last forever. The other products that SuperFat makes, and these are the products that are being advertised for today, are the pancake mix and the brownie mix. The pancake mix, it made a decent pancake. Definitely better than Birch Benders. My son and I reviewed it, we enjoyed those. We also reviewed the brownie mix, did not enjoy that much at all. Had I shown the full video of that, I edited out a chunk because it just felt sort of mean to me. We divided the tray into 16 brownies. Connor and I each ate a bite of one. We threw away the rest. The whole tray. I've never done that. It was just not a good brownie mix. Now, I don't know if they've changed their formula based on my video and my feedback, but I wasn't thrilled. Anyhow, the sale that Perfect Keto is doing today is if you buy either of those 2 dry bake mixes, you get 20% off your whole order, and it's like free shipping over $49 maybe. But I'm not gonna pump that sale because I kind of expect we're gonna see a July 4th sale. And we just had the Memorial Day sale. To me, this is not all that special. And maybe I'm biting the hand that feeds me, but to me, the most important thing is my honesty and my integrity, and I'm not buying anything on this sale. Now, in terms of my thoughts on Perfect Keto buying SuperFat, I have to believe that there's some business logic behind it. Whether they wanted to get into that cookie bites market and they just didn't feel like making their own, or they wanted to get into dry mixes, I don't know. I'm struggling to see the logic in it. Perfect Keto already has nut butters, and they're good nut butters. So I don't know why you buy another company to get more nut butters. Perfect Keto's cookies, I think, are better than SuperFat's cookies because they're moist. The thing is, I also think I had heard that SuperFat had bought keto bars, and I wasn't all that fond of keto bars. I did like their powdered hot drink mixes. So they had a hot chocolate and a hot vanilla spice. Courtney and I really enjoyed those. But the bars, those were not good, honestly. Did not enjoy those much at all. So if I am recalling correctly that SuperFat bought keto bars, then now Perfect Keto owns all of this stuff. And like I said, I don't know what their goal is. If their goal is to just be the all-inclusive keto food provider, and if they are, then I would far rather see them go after some sort of savory thing. Get us some good savory chips or snacks. I'm sick of sweets. They just don't do anything for me. So that's my thoughts on the Perfect Keto and SuperFat merger. If somebody else has some insider information on why they might have made that purchase, I'd be curious to know. You can let me know down in the comments below. And with that, we may or may not take a brief little ad break. So speaking of ad breaks, I talked about this last week, how YouTube was changing some of their ad policies. And I got a lot of feedback from people that said, oh, well, that explains why I'm seeing so many more ads. I had a number of other people tell me that they use ad blocker software. And that kind of grinds my gears a little bit too. Now, I understand why a person would use it. I don't like watching ads either. That's why I pay for YouTube Premium. That's my route to not watch ads. To me, it's worth it. It's worth it to get YouTube Music. It's worth it to be able to download videos and watch offline. It's worth it to be able to listen to something like a podcast without having the app open. So if I'm in my car or if I'm out for a walk, I don't have to keep the app open in order to listen. Now, I'm not trying to sell you on YouTube Premium. I'm just saying for me, I like it. I don't regret purchasing it. I don't get some sort of bonus if any of you decide to go out and subscribe to it. I'm sharing Steve's opinion. But in terms of the people that told me that they use ad blockers, I try and make it clear to them that when they use an ad blocker, they are hurting me. They're hurting me financially. I don't get paid anything from the people that watch my videos, that watch with an ad blocker. Furthermore, the view doesn't count, and the watch time doesn't count for my metrics. And that's important because these are metrics of engagement and are the metrics that YouTube looks at to decide if they want to promote my videos to non-subscribers, which means more people see me, channel gets bigger, gets more popular. So when I explain this to people, I get a couple of different types of response. The one that upsets me is when people get indignant and entitled. And they say, well, why should you get money? What makes you so special? Well, I'm not saying that I'm special, but what I am saying is this is my job. This is what I do to pay the bills. If I don't do this, I go back to work at a company like GE. In fact, I put more hours into this channel and the website and monitoring comments and responding to comments and dealing with social media than I ever put in at GE. And when people tell me that they're comfortable with that, sort of the feeling I get is, if I had a bakery and someone came in and said, oh, hey, I've been stealing your donuts every week, and I'm going to keep stealing your donuts every week, and there's not a thing you can do about it. That's kind of how I feel. And they're right. There isn't anything that I can do about it. But I say again, I get the desire to not watch ads, especially some of them are just stupid long, or they're contradictory even to what this channel is all about. Now, I said that I get another type of response, and these are from the people that realize that using an ad blocker does impact me negatively, so they offset it one of two ways. Some people will join the channel as a channel member, and I've got 3 tiers to that. Whenever I say, click that join button and see what memberships are all about. It's a way for them to give a little contribution to this channel, and in return, they get some perks. The most obvious one is getting to see videos in advance, up to a week, sometimes even, I've had some that I've released a month early to my members. So, if that's something you're interested in, you get that. You get some behind the scenes updates, things like that. So that's one thing a person could do if they felt bad. The other thing is I've had users tell me they will have a separate browser that they'll open, and then they'll just watch, or not watch, they'll just play one of my playlists and go do something else. So it's helping out my views, it's helping out my watch time, it's helping out my ad hits, and it's making up for the not hitting those measurements by using an ad blocker. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to do any of these things, but what I am politely requesting is if you do use an ad blocker, just don't tell me about it. That kind of just feels like you're rubbing my nose in it. So if people telling me that using an ad blocker is sort of my least favorite comment to read, I think my most favorite comment to read, and I've been getting a fair amount of these lately, is when people tell me that one of my recipes helped convert a family member or friend or child. I guess that would also be a family member. It just feels so good when people tell me that my recipe was so good that they served it to their family and their family didn't know it was keto. And once they found out it was keto, maybe they said, I might be able to go keto. If I can eat food like this, what else you got? And the reason that sort of comment is so meaningful to me is because I am alone, a single keto person in a non-keto household. I would love it for my family to be keto, especially my wife. I would love it because I would get more pantry space. I get, 20% of the pantry space. And as a keto cook, I require about 150% of the pantry. The other thing that I think might be kind of huge, and I'm not pimping for keto chow right now, but I'm going to mention keto chow, is the mint chocolate, or chocolate mint chocolate, one of the two, that flavor of keto chow. My wife just loves it. And my wife likes to snack in the evening. When we sit down to watch a movie or a TV show or something like that, she'll be eating chocolate-covered raisins or crackers or popcorn, something very high carby. And once I made some keto ice cream, she said, "Can you do this with the mint chocolate? Because if you can do this with the mint chocolate, I will eat this every night for my snack instead of that other stuff." So, big victory. But anyhow, I just want to tell you that if you ever have an experience like that where one of my recipes helps you convert a family member, let me know, because it really, really makes my day. I also did a video last week about comments disappearing on YouTube. Interestingly, a couple of days later, I got an email from someone at Google, not a personal email, I'm sure they sent this out to just about everybody, but there was a survey that I had to complete, and then I may get chosen to have a one-on-one interview with someone at Google/YouTube about comments. So I ask that you all keep your fingers crossed for me. I would love to have an hour of somebody's time at YouTube so that I can really express my feelings and frustrations with comments, subscriptions, notifications, things like that. So, like I said, fingers crossed. In terms of last week's Easter egg, this is my grandson's pillow, one of them. We have Stitch, everybody figured that out. A number of people figured out that he was holding Grogu from The Mandalorian. Then Grogu is holding something. I don't know what that something is. But it is sort of a cute little crossover because Colton and Connor both love Stitch and Grogu. And whatever this little thing is. So that is going to be it for the Not So Serious video podcast this week. If you are interested in hearing more of my voice, I am going to start recording podcasts or something resembling a podcast on my other channel, Lean Body Mind. Now, these are going to be non-keto subjects for the most part. Initially, the main topics are going to be about what's coming up on the channel. So what I'm working on, a little bit about me, my background. There'll be some sort of experimental videos as I'm working with different shooting locations and shooting styles and things like that. But if you feel you just can't get enough of me, check out Lean Body Mind. I'll put an end card right up here. And that's it. As always, thanks for watching or listening.